welcome to International Schooling. Here at International Schooling, we believe that each student is unique and deserves a well-tailored plan according to their needs and their schedule. Hello, my name is Meru and I'm going to be your teacher here at International Schooling. Whether you're traveling, working from home, or playing sport, we are happy to have you here with us on your journey. Let's begin. Today, we are doing Module 1 of the American Curriculum Grade 9 Physics course, Lesson 2, our scientific theories. Now, when I talk about the word theory, what comes to mind is like a conspiracy theory or something that we know of. Okay, so when we talk about scientific theories, it's very, very important that we distinguish between fact and fiction. So with a scientific theory, it will only become empirical, or another word for empirical is factual, once we have proven it. So our ability to prove and replicate data is what will make something a theory, a true scientific theory. Let's look at something like astrology. It's the belief that the position of the stars can really tell you a lot about your personality and future. Okay, now with astrology, this was something that came from earlier in time. With astrology, they used it to make predictions about, what kind of person this is. You're a Gemini or you're a Taurus or whatever it is. But for something to be truly scientific, we need to test it. So in astrology, we say because, sun is placed in a certain way or the stars are placed in a certain way, the moon is a certain way, it will affect your behavior. Can we test this? Can we take someone, put them in a room and say, okay, the moon is full today. I want to see how you behave. It doesn't really make sense. So that is why astrology was dubbed a pseudoscience, because there was nothing we could do to actually prove that it's real. Pseudoscience, pseudo means fake, and science is, well, what we know. Then came something called astronomy. Now, astronomy sounds like astrology, but it's way different. So with astronomy, we're studying celestial objects, like everything we have in space, and phenomena that we observe in space. And then we try to explain their origin, evolution, occurrence. Okay. Now, astronomy is not a pseudoscience, it's an actual science. We have physicists that would study these types of things, okay, because we are able to calculate, to collect data and prove things that are there in space. We can see it, we can do tests on it, we can replicate data. Okay. So now we're going to take a look at a few old claims and what our current understanding is. So old claims, before, when we didn't have the amount of technology that we do now, we thought that Earth is the center of the universe. We thought that everything in space will orbit Earth. How self-centered, right? Quite literally. Then we revised that a couple hundred years later, and we thought, okay, no, the sun is the center of the universe, and all objects, including Earth, will orbit the sun. Now, part of this is true because our current understanding is that the sun is just one star of billions inside the Milky Way galaxy. And we have billions of galaxies in the universe. We're not even a small piece of the universe, we're just a dot in time. From there, we learned that the sun is not the center of the galaxy, nor is the Milky Way galaxy the center of the universe. It's just constantly expanding. Yeah. Another old claim was that people became ill when one of the four humors became out of balance. Humors meaning liquid. So, like maybe it was water, blood, I think your salt, and your sugar. Okay. That's not true. That was just what doctors would think in the older days because they didn't understand what we currently understand to be germs, pathogens, viruses, illness, disease. Okay, so now we have germ theory of disease, and that states that we have these teeny tiny little microorganisms known as pathogens, and they can lead to serious disease. Okay. Another old claim was that life on Earth cannot exist without the sun. Now, this is true for the majority of beings on Earth, okay? We need the sun to survive, or we need the sun to at least impact the vegetation and the food that we eat, right? But the current understanding of this is that You have some deep underwater boiling hot chemicals from inside the planet that can be spewed from hydrothermal vents, and these chemicals can sustain life in certain animals that live there. And the sun's rays cannot really reach that low, so they survive without sunlight, like the anglerfish and all those things that you find deep in the ocean. Doesn't always need to be deep in the ocean either. You also have these snails that live in volcano vents. They don't see the sun either, but they're able to survive. So that's how we revive and revise our old claims to our current understanding. This is all possible through the advancements in technology that we have. Then we spoke about how the reason that all these advancements are even possible is because of technology and how it's developed so much over time. Okay, excellent work. In our next lesson, we're going to explore some more deep and more exciting things, and it's going to help you understand to take all of these things that we've been learning so far and apply them in the real world. Okay, so thank you for learning with us today at International Schooling. Here we believe that your schedule, our time, it should mix, and we should cater to having that perfect plan for you. And we should adapt to your flexibility, not the other way around. Remember, it's your location, it's your school, it's your time. Learn, grow, make mistakes. It's perfectly fine. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
International Schooling, the best online school.